It's a radical environment. You know, avalanche paths, 900 inches of snow, population growth, visitation.
The uncontrolled avalanche hazard index in Little Cottonwood is the highest in North America, if not the world. It's a very dangerous place. I think we forget about that sometimes.
I've been in roadway construction, working in the Department of Transportation for my entire career. The intent is to get people off the road and provide a less impactful solution.
The balance of our beings and the mountains, it's a tenuous ballet. I think about the people who were here, who settled the land, and how they thought about generations to come. They thought about how they would preserve water. And they realized that these canyons were really precious.
Mining really began in earnest here in about 1863. Silver was discovered at that time, and it really became quite a boom town and quickly developed into a town of 8,000 people. Originally, it was more just mountaineers and people that really were maybe rock climbers in the summertime or did a lot of ski touring, and then also occasionally went up and skied in the ski resorts.
Well, in the early days of mining, skiing was used primarily as a way to get around during the winter months. As you can well imagine, particularly up here at Alta at higher elevation, we had high snow depths, and in the wintertime, for them to just move around, they had to have some way of doing that.
30, 40 years ago, when we traveled in the mountains in very rudimentary touring gear. Of course, you really had to not only be in tune with the mountains and be in tune with the snow and the avalanche conditions, but it was an amazingly humble experience. You learned this give and take with the mountains, and you learn times when, the mountains would open up their arms and say, come on in, let's party. And other times when you realize, man, if I'm not on my game, I'm gonna have my ass handed to me in a minute or two. This place is deeply embedded in my heart. As I stand on the shoulders of generations prior to me, I'm always blown away about how they thought about the future. What we realize with these canyons is that there are few places like this on the earth, and the combination of remarkable terrain, abundant snow, self-healing snowpack, there's no place like Big or Little Cottonwood Canyon or the Wasatch Front anywhere in the world.
It's an incredible microclimate. It snows a lot. For interior North America to have a place that averages over 500 inches of snow a year is pretty incredible.
Little Cottonwood Canyon has the most named avalanche paths in any mountain corridor in North America. We just look around us and we are surrounded by avalanche terrain.
If you remember back to the winter of 2022-23, canyon was closed a lot. The way that highway is constructed right now, with no snow sheds, with no passive avalanche protection, when the avalanche danger is high, when they have to shoot the road is going to have to close.
You have more visitors in that area than all 5 of our national parks put together, which is like an insane amount for a United States Forest Service.
We have, upwards of 10,000 cars a day that drive up the canyon, so humans definitely have an impact in Little Cottonwood Canyon.
In 2018, an environmental impact statement started, and that was just to figure out a transportation solution for Little Cottonwood Canyon. So fast forward to 2024, where we're at now, and the gondola is the final alternative.
Hi, I'm Devin Weeder. I'm the Cottonwood Canyon's Transit Project Manager at UDOT. So right now it's a winter problem, but with more and more people, you're getting to the point where it can't handle it in the summer either. The road, both Little and Big Cottonwood Canyon, can handle around 1,200 people per hour, or 1,200 cars per hour, and in the winter, we're at that point. We're going to get to that point in the summer. With population growth and how much more people are out hiking, mountain biking, and as you mentioned before, like if there's more services up there that are more year-round, more people will want to go up there year-round. You're going to be able to leave your house, get a parking spot, get on the gondola. The gondola is going to be able to run more often than the road. The gondola is not affected by avalanche debris, it's not affected by inexperienced drivers, car accidents, or poor road conditions. So it'll just be able to run more reliably than the road or anything else that operates on the ground. While we recognize that the gondola will have a big visual impact on the canyon, it actually has a very small physical impact in comparison to the bus lanes or the cog rail. So the bus lanes have an 8 times higher impact on the physical canyon, and the cog rail has a 9 times larger impact. So when you think about what kind of physical impact the gondola will have, it's mostly at the resorts and it's at where the towers will be. It's just localized to where the towers are. And that's in comparison to the cog rail or widening the road for the bus lanes, where it's up the entire canyon. You have to clear a path for those. And so of the alternatives we looked at, over a 30-year or 100-year time span, it's the cheapest. Compared to the bus lanes, it's 13% more expensive to build the gondola. But per year, it costs half as much to run it. So over an 11-year time span, you make up the difference in the cost of the gondola versus the cost of the bus lanes and running the buses. So after that 11-year period, you actually are saving money building the gondola rather than running the buses. Right now, you have to pay to park. You have to pay to buy a ticket to go skiing. Our gondola or buses or anything will cost less than parking. So when someone says, you're going to charge us more money, it's like the ski resorts have already decided to charge you money to get up there, right? So the ticket to get on the gondola or the ticket to get on the bus will cost less than the parking.
So my name is Grace Tyler. I'm with Save Our Canyons. So Save Our Canyons is a 501c3 organization. We work to protect the wildness and beauty of the Wasatch Mountains. We weren't looking at solutions that are going to stop at trailheads. So if you're not skiing at ski resorts, then you were never really included in the purpose and scope. If you're asking for $1.4 billion of Utah taxpayer money, it's not serving all users. If you hike, if you climb, if you do anything other than go to Snowbird and Alta, you're paying for it, but you are not going to benefit from it. The people that manage our water are also against this project, which is a really important thing to connect, that it's like it has huge impacts on the water and the flora and fauna sense of plants and animals, but also has a huge impact on like the people in the valley that just drink water.
We were most focused on the watershed And the watershed is critical. It provides drinking water for hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses along the Wasatch Front. There's a treatment plant at the mouth of the canyon that processes and distributes over 150 million gallons of high quality drinking water a day. This is about, to put that into perspective, it's like 300 Olympic-sized swimming pools that are being delivered every single day to homes and residents and commercial businesses along the Wasatch Front. So it's critical that we protect it.
Yeah, so I'm Chris Colley. I'm the Town of Alta town manager. There is no comprehensive solution. There are too many people who want to come here. Ski areas are always going to open at about 9 and they're always going to close at about 4. Everybody's always going to want to be here when they open, they're always going to leave when it closes. And I don't think there is a way to not have congestion during those peak times in Little Cottonwood. I think that a whole snow sheds and high capacity bus service could be, and restrictions on roadside parking, trailhead improvements so that people can park in the trailhead and then you prohibit roadside parking. I think some of those elements could combine to reduce, traffic volumes on the road.
I think it's important that we get some snow sheds in the canyon. As a meteorologist and somebody who works in snow science, a highway like this in the Alps would have a lot of snow sheds along it to protect it. That's the best way to protect the highway. That's probably quite important.
We've received a lot of public comments. It's one of the most public comments we've ever received. It was over 30,000 comments during all the periods. So we've seen opposition and we've seen support, and we appreciate all of it. The public comments helped to shape the EIS and change how everything happened, how we went through and developed all the alternatives. So through each public comment period, we changed what we were doing. New alternatives were added, alternatives were changed, and then after we changed or added anything, we gave more opportunity for public comment.
Over 80% of those comments are against the gondola. And so there's like a large percentage of people in the community that are also against it.
While public comments are really important, they're also not the only thing we look at. We also look at how it affects the purpose and need and how well those alternatives, or how those alternatives affect the environment, right? So what has the lowest impact or how those different impacts add up. So we really appreciate all the public comments we got, and it's a super important part of the process.
Everyone should have access to it. Like, one of the most wonderful things that you can do is connect with nature.
This place is getting fairly crowded, but it's a wonderful place.
I think that everyone is entitled to the canyon. And I don't mean like Utahns or Americans or whatever, like everybody is entitled to these places. And so they should be open to everyone, no matter your income or no matter where you lived or where you bought your house.
My kid's a 4th generation Alta skier. I want his kid to be an Alta skier. I want their kids to be Alta skiers. And I don't know, it's like everything I love about life is here. And I want my family to be here. I want that to be the case for however many people it can be the case for, forever, until there's no more snow.
I've been skiing here for, 30-some years. And, when you have a powder day, the excitement that happens in the morning and getting ready to go and realizing what you're going to run into in the backcountry, it's just, that's a feeling like no other drug they sell.
Being in these mountains, of course, I have great gratitude, I have great respect, and I often feel as though it's the mountains that enable me to go into them on their terms. We have to realize there's a tenuous balance here between growth, between preservation, and also sharing this amazing place we call home. We gotta make it work, we gotta be smart, and we want other generations in the future to look back on us and say, yeah, that crew got it right. there's a tenuous balance with how we move through the canyons, how we leave a minimal footprint, but then also how we can share this knowledge and this vibe and this stoke with others so that they can respect this natural environment. And the big ticket here is that we pass this on from one generation to the next. I mean, we're standing on the shoulders of the ones that came here before us. So I hope that we can do the same for the next generation.
I would say over time, it's going to become even more important for the people that live here along the Wasatch Front. It's a wilderness refuge, right? It's a place to get away from the city. It really is a one-of-a-kind kind of place. I mean, the Wasatch Mountains being right next to a major urban area make it a very attractive place. So I think it's important we can protect it, and that future generations are going to be able to recreate there just like we do.
What future are we leaving behind? Like, is the next generation going to know what wild space is? I think that's a real question, and I don't have kids right now, but I would like to know that like the next generation knows what it's like to take a hike up White Pine and not be developed, or maybe you want to go up in Mill Creek, or you want to go up in Parleys. And so I think it's really important that as we look at these projects as a state, that we really consider what legacy we're going to leave behind.
I don't think any tragedy has unfolded here in Little Cottonwood. I still think it's a wonderful place that makes millions of people happy a year. But again, it is going to come down to balancing all those values and all those human benefits, environmental benefits, access to commercial skiing, dispersed recreation, environmental values, quality of life for residents, and access to locals.
There are many generations that figured this out before us. We're not the first ones here. And as such, we've got to realize that. We've got to embrace that. And we've got to realize that, man, there is no place else on earth like this. Share the moment, be part of the moment, but also realize that with all of that comes great responsibility.